Okay, for question 13, I'm going to talk about the different altitude training paradigms. So for the first one I'm going to talk about live high, train high. And early research in the 60s and 70s suggested that living and training at altitude enhances VO2 max and improves endurance performance. However, these studies lacked control groups, and more recent research has indicated there's no significant advantage over sea level training when control groups are included. Some of the limitations of living high, training high could be reduced training intensity due to oxygen availability is lower at high altitudes, making it more difficult to sustain high workloads. And then also extended recovery time. The body takes longer to recover due to the added physiological stress of hypoxia, as well as there could be a reduction of muscle mass due to increased metabolic demands. And then for live high, train low, this is the most effective method. This method involves living and sleeping at moderate altitudes, so above 7,000 feet, while training at lower altitudes below 5,000 feet. Live high, train low maximizes the benefits of altitude exposure, such as like increased red blood cell production and hemoglobin levels, while allowing athletes to maintain high intensity training at lower elevations. Some of the key physiological adaptations are increased erythropoietin production, leading to a greater red blood cell count and enhanced oxygen transport, and then improved VO2 max and endurance uh, performance. And then for live low, train high, altitudes or athletes will live at sea level, but perform training sessions in hypoxic environments, either high altitude locations or using hypoxic chambers. Training usually lasts 2 to 5 hours per day, 3 to 5 days per week. Um, and some of the benefits could be to improve skeletal muscle oxygen utilization and metabolic efficiency. Um, and some of the limitation is that there's no evidence of increased red blood cell count or hemoglobin levels. Um, and there's no consistent improvements of VO2 max compared to traditional training methods. It may also have short-lived effects. And then lastly, for live low, train low, and plus an intermediate hypoxic training. This involves hypoxic interval breathing at rest, usually simulated high altitude air, so above 2,000 feet. Athletes breathe hypoxic air for 5 minutes, followed by 5 minutes of normal air for up to 70 minutes per day. Um, there's the limitations are there's no evidence of increased red blood cell count or hemoglobin levels, and there is no demonstrated improvements of VO2 max or endurance performance. There's pretty much lack of convincing evidence to support any athletic benefit. Um, Out of all of the altitude training paradigms, live high, train low is the most effective because it provides the red blood cell benefits of altitude while maintaining high intensity training capability. To maximize sea level performance, athletes should maintain intensity, ensure proper nutrition, and allow adequate recovery, as well as include speed interval training um, to improve sea level performance.